Before we get into this evening's live, I would like to go over a quick observation and also what we're seeing transpire here this evening. As we can see, XRP is down about 3.5%, very much within the pennant flag. But again, we're still within this ABC correction. It can come down lower, but it brings an interesting dynamic for tomorrow because the markets closed unceremoniously. Because of Jimmy Carter's death here in the USA, the markets actually closed tomorrow in the stock market, which means the ETF trading is going to be down. So we're going to see a typical, like a thinly traded day, almost like this is a Friday evening tonight, and we're going into the end of the week. So we could get some volatility here that we normally wouldn't. Um, but yeah, it's pretty interesting what's going on. We've got the U.S. government apparently, or at least with what it looks like, aligning with what we thought from the beginning, that the lawsuit was simply to slow down the pace at which Ripple would be adopted because they weren't ready in the USA. So they used XRP Ripple as kind of like a kind of a case study, so to say, and how to delay the CBDC issuance or the adoption. But it looks like to me we have an alliance, and they put it in public. They've made it public between Ripple, XRP, the U.S. government. You can see it by Trump, Stuart Alderodi, which is a lawyer for Ripple, and then also, Brad Garlinghouse. It's interesting the exact minds, and then we'll go over what everything has been shared, and then obviously with the news, maybe not obviously for some, but the news that, and we'll see if it's verified, but it was shared in the mainstream. Excuse me. But the fact that Bank of America says that at least from what we're seeing, this report says Bank of America, 100% of internal transactions are used via XRP. That would be a serious game changer in the fact that this would be one of the largest institutional adoptions that we can actually verify within this entire industry. So between what we are seeing with the U.S. government obviously aligning with Ripple now, and it might not be obvious to some, but you've got to play the 4D chess game with these players. That's why if you've seen my picture that I used, I kind of incorporated, I don't know how easy it is to see in the intro, but I switched my picture a little bit. I wonder if it saved it. And I made it look like this because XRP, Trump, Garlinghouse, and Alderodi create U.S. government alliance with Ripple. And it's basically like the diamond hands are holding now the three of them, because it does seem like there's some sort of alliance that is obviously formed here in the short term, at least becoming more public. Can there be a dump? Absolutely. But one thing that makes me happier than yesterday is the fact the fear and greed index went all the way down to 49 back into neutral. We talked about that yesterday. I'll pull up the Bank of America stuff for a little bit later. But it's truly something. It's like I said in that 3-minute update, if any of you seen, I said, forget the price, whether it goes up and down for this moment, and just pay attention to some of the variables that are starting to transpire in front of us. Because there are some very big dynamics. We could get a market shift tomorrow. I seen some of the questions. We very well could. Especially it's going to be a thinly traded day. It's not the norm. So like the Crypto Times, a few other ones, but they're saying all internal transactions using XRP are done by Bank of America now, internal transactions. And look at it, all these patents that were secured. And secure 83 patents along the way. I don't know if anybody's dug any deeper into the patents, but we're going to read through that today. We'll take a look at, excuse me, the Bitcoin heat liquidation map, as we're going to have a fire live here. I think it's been a great start to the year, but I think it's going to be a fire live here, not just from what I'm going to say, but what I'm sure some of you are going to divulge, as well as what you found out, what you know. But right now in the market, I see absolutely nothing that's changed. All I've seen is that Bitcoin came down and did a potential double bottom on the rising broadening wedge. And right now we technically could be in like some kind of symmetrical triangle. And if it holds this support, and this is what it's forming, these can be bullish reversals just in the short term. And that could give us that validity to push up to 122 possibly, even in a rising broadening wedge as we've talked about, and secure the final push if this technical target was to fill out from the cup and handle breakout, which led us to 122,785. So either way, we're going to find that out. Either way, we're going to find that out in the very short term. We've got death crosses in the 3-hourly now. We've got a death cross in the 4-hourly on Bitcoin. But when you look at it in the daily time frame, we're still haven't had that cross yet. And it's one of those things, it's either a head and shoulders pattern here, or this is one big left arm. And we'll find out whether or not it breaks out of this broadening wedge, this rising broadening wedge. Because one could say left shoulder, head, right shoulder back down. It seems kind of cheap to me that it would just do that so quickly and they wouldn't grab that top side liquidity. But I could see the scenario of 74, then back up to 122. But knowing the market makers, I thought we would consolidate a little bit here, you know, in the short term before Trump's inauguration on the 20th. But now we're going to be within 11 days here. We're within 11 days. Isn't that, what is it, the 20th or 21st? The charts are telling me on the 20th to 27th, we could have a big breakout on certain tokens that I've spoke of. But obviously that depends if we can hold until we get to the end of this. And it makes sense. We watched the 3-minute update today, Tom. You were spot on. I appreciate that, George. I really appreciate that. I do really appreciate that. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Meteor. Jorge, you too as well. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months. Syrian, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for, wait a minute. The Meteor is over 3 months, but the Predictor, Syrian, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. I greatly appreciate that. A very trusted mod as well. So we're going to see either some fireworks here on the thinly traded weekend. I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to everybody, but I was trying to get through this. There was a lot of people in here when I started, but I'm trying to get through this intro in a pretty quick fashion so that we can get into the nuts and bolts here because we've got a lot to talk about. We've got the college football playoff on tonight, which I'm going to be watching Penn State versus Notre Dame. So I want to get done with this, you know, around 7 o'clock. I got to put in a bet or two. But Randy, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. Hey, Tom, here we go. Looking to buy in on a... I'll read the rest of that. I'll read the rest of that once I see the questioning, or once I see the comment again. But there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm rather excited about this live. And we will get into the picture that you've seen on the opening that is in my headline. And he says, buy in on a pennant flag. Yep. Looking to buy in on a pennant flag. That's right. And right now, the pennant flag support is right about $2.05 if it comes down there. We'll talk about this picture and what I think it means. What I think it means. And we'll obviously talk about Bank of America as well. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Seriously, Mark, welcome in. My friend, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months as well. I greatly appreciate it. So let me do the intro, timestamp this, and then we'll get moving here. Good evening. 6:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, January 9th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. 1970 legend, welcome in, and thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months now with the XP Meteor. My son's a little bit under the weather still. No fever, no throwing up or nothing like that. He was home today, but he, you know, little stuffy. I'm a little stuffy. It's been like 8 degrees, 10 degrees here, so that it happens. It happens, but nothing major. Hopefully it just gets better by the day. George says, absolutely, this community should listen and take those dips. Ooh, I need to see what that's. And take those dips and corrections as discounts and sales period. Just listen to Tom and his TAs. Consider these as strategic investments. Yeah, there you go. I like that. I like that. John, welcome in, my friend. 777 DW Brown, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for your 2nd month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. I greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that, my friend. So let's get into this. XRP's chart real quick. We'll look at this. We'll take a look at what can happen. We'll take a look at the potential death cross that's looming here. As you can see, we're about to possibly have a death cross here in the shorter time frame, in about the 2 hour. But if you look at that, you've got the possible dot cross, but we held the 4 hour 200 day, which means this pattern did not give way yet. And there is a opportunity here for this to shoot back up here very quickly if it uses this like a little mini. I kind of call them the pattern killers when they're trying to have a breakdown or breakout. You kind of see this formation. Sometimes it's formed in the opposite, like to the top. But this kind of looks like it formed an exhaustion right here in the middle. And there's actually a W reversal that could possibly be forming. But we'll see. Because if it breaks this down and this loses the 200, we're going to come down to the FEG zone, the fair value gap, at about 205. We'll come down to about 205. That's the pennant flag support. And as long as we stay in the pennant flag the way we should, and this plays out until the end of this, see the end of it for XRP and the pennant flag, and let's just measure this appropriately. That's not right. I mean, because technically you should be using all of these. There we go. So technically the support, yeah, that's right. But the breakout or breakdown would have to be around the 27th for XRP, 27th. So on a few of the other ones too, we've seen around the 20th, 27th. It just all depends. Ethereum at 3,222. It almost came outside of this little consolidation, but I was trying to see exactly what the true setup is here, but we'll see. Because the wider pattern, I mean, that's just range bound, which honestly, I don't even need to have that up, but the wider pattern here, and I keep looking at Ethereum because that's been historically the indicator of alt season, and it looks like a gigantic inverse head and shoulders is forming on all of these. Now, if a shorter term inverse head and shoulders has to play out, we could come to 2774. And I think that's the area it would come to if XRP found itself down at 205. It's just a matter of how quick can Bitcoin go down in that scenario. Would it go down 18,000 points to 74,000 and XRP only goes down 24 cents? Maybe. And Ethereum would just go down about 500 bucks or 700 bucks or 500. Yeah, it's possible. I'm a little bit interested to see how this thinly traded day goes tomorrow, because we don't typically have no trading at the end of the week. And now look, we have Friday, we have Saturday, we have Sunday. So now we have a 3-day thinly traded weekend. So everything that we normally do on the weekend, this is technically the start of the weekend now. It's crazy. So how is that going to affect the market? Do you think that's going to allow for a bigger pump or a bigger dump here on this thinly traded weekend for 3 days? I'm just curious. Tom, are you going to sell if we come down? I don't know. I like, my mind doesn't say sell XRP right now. Like, I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not honestly, I'm not looking to sell mine. I'm not looking to sell mine. None of my stuff that I've talked about, there's a reason why I took profits on things that I don't want and trim my bags of things that I was speculative on. Because there's just a few that I'm not going to budge on, like Algo. IOTA's in there. IOTX, you know, HBAR, VChain, ZIL, XDC, DGB, these ones that I've built. Now it's my job to start saving more and more and more and just let this ride out. You know, I'm content unless something obscene happens. Nothing. I don't think anything could scare me out of these particular ISO positions, including obviously XRP. But this is just that time. And when you look at a little bit between the lines here, let's get into this picture. So on the onset, you see Trump, you see Stuart Alderodi, you see Brad Garlinghouse. And then when you take a closer look, yes, you see the picture, right? We see the picture. We see it's on rocky waters. So it's going to be a bumpy ride. But we also see kind of like the death of a ship in the maybe like the end of one struggle and the rebirth of a new. You can see the ghost ship. We can see that. But what draws big attention to me, not just that, like it's the out with the old, in with the new kind of thing. Like we're washing these demons away and here comes our new point. You know, all ends meet and we're finally crashing through. But The other thing, look behind Brad Garlinghouse. You got a long green candle. Look behind Stuart Alderodi, a long green candle. Look behind Trump. So I think they're speaking in code here. Like, have some patience here through the volatility and the choppy waters. But out of the other end of this choppy waters is going to be reborn. And this whole thing's going to come to a conclusion. And then we're going to have a long green candle here at some point. That's what it looks like to me. Why would they strategically place a long green candle behind Stuart Alderodi and Brad Garlinghouse? So that's what I'm looking at and interpreting as patience here is a virtue. And, you know, if we were so if we were so into this at 35 cents, that's what I was saying. And then what's behind Trump, the clock is ticking. I didn't say the clock, did I? But I was saying, and then what's behind Trump? It's almost like the clock's ticking, and it's pretty interesting. It's just pretty interesting if you start to, do this. Markets were closed today. No, not where I live. Commodities markets were absolutely open. Unless the stock market was closed and I didn't pay attention to it, but commodities were trading. Maybe it was today, because at first I told Julie it was Thursday. No, I think it's tomorrow, though. Oh, wait a minute. Was it today? Julie, was the market closed today or not?
You said tomorrow, but you could have meant today. Who knows?
I think it was closed today. Yeah, I'm on the wrong day. See, my son's been a little sick, so I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it was today. It was today because the commodities market stayed open. So it'll be back running tomorrow. So we actually dodged a bullet today.
I might be next time to place an order to get Clorox.
Oh, we're out of them? Here, I'll order them. Do you need them today?
I just like that.
Yeah, I know.
I might be able to find it.
Hold on, I can do it. Hold on, everybody. I got to get something for Julie real quick. It'll take me 2 seconds. Clorox wipes. It's fine.
You do have an extra height. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
It's always good to have.
Especially when we have a little bit of sickness in the house. I'll get them from a quick source. Okay? But I would love your guys' opinion. We have a lot of people in here, and this is just the beginning. Oh, about 200 people. Not bad. Not bad. And I know we were live earlier, so that was obviously we're adding to it. But hold on, I just got to get one thing for Julie. Okay. Julie, I'm checking out. There we go. Is that it, Julie?
Yeah.
That's all you need?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Besides that, though, does that make sense to everybody real quick? Does that make sense? That's what I wanted to end with this. Does that make sense to everybody what we're kind of seeing here? Like, that's what I'm seeing there. I placed our order. So that's what I'm seeing there. And yeah, please hit the like button. We've got 92 likes, not less than half of our audience, which I don't talk about the like button as much because I don't want to waste my time talking about that. But, if we could hit the like button, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Tom, they donated $1 million to Trump. Trump takes pics with all his big donors. This doesn't mean they are partners. Oh, my friend, it's not just this picture, but I'm reading between the lines of what's been happening. I've said they were partners all along. He takes pictures with all of his big donors, but why would Stuart Alderodi be there? I understand Brad Garlinghouse, but why would you have the law side there with him? I think this is like I said, this is 4D chess. This isn't going to be for everybody's brain. Some people are going to think this is horseshit. This is my brain. This is what I see. See, what I see, you might not see. That's why I brought it to you. So, You know, some of you might say, you know what, that's a crackpot theory, and so be it. But that's what I am seeing, you know. So, and this is, to me, as I've said since the very beginning, the WEF controls and was one of the largest donors to Ripple, which is the World Economic Forum, and the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Why do you think those two in particular are such big backings of Ripple? I just think we need to open our eyes and not be so closed off to what's so very obvious in front of us. You think it's any surprise that XRP is at 228? And I could point out every single crypto that's not even close to the 2021 high. Like, if you want to be real, everybody, look at the 2021 highs. Algo's nowhere near $3. You need a 10x from here to basically get back up to the 2021 level. Same thing with Algo, IOTA. Doge is happy to be where it's at, but it didn't even reach back to its 2021 highs. You know, XLM's nowhere near its 2021 highs. DGB's got to go about 17x to get back to its 2021 high. Same thing with ZIL and VChain and HBAR. Needs a 3. I mean, look how far. Well, actually, HBAR, don't count HBAR because it had a good run here. But look how far we are from all-time highs in most things, or at least the 2021 high. And yet XRP is already above the 21 high. Something's different with XRP. We have to understand that. If I want to be real, XRP... No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't. It did not skip its $1.98. It came back and back tested it appropriately and actually came through twice. It just came up faster than we thought it was going to, so it only had to use that to back test so far. If I want to be real with you, I don't think it should be over $3. I think if it went over $3, we would just have put in a massive head and shoulders. This is exactly what we needed to do by putting in the pennant flag. You're properly consolidating. But I mean, actually, you're not dead wrong, your mom, honestly, because it was lagging behind. But think about why it was lagging behind. Was it because of natural intention or artificial manipulation? Is there a catalyst that could have pushed it to take longer than some of the others? And then when it didn't go when the others did, didn't the other one just artificially go up and then come down for no real reason? At least XRP was like a massive case study, and it allowed us within a transparent consolidation where it stayed within for several years, actually for a 7-year time frame. It never came outside of that descending wedge for almost 7 years. It was about as truthful as the chart could have been as long as you understood it and were patient. And now that descending wedge is broke, so now the piper's got to be paid in both directions. And now, fortunately, in this case, it's going to be towards the top direction at some point. But yeah, there's still so much to get through. And when I'm looking at the Bitcoin heat signature map, because it doesn't lead us astray, it leads us, yeah, we can say XRP up 80,000% or 30,000% in the last 10 years. I'm not interested in that. Give me the last 8 or 7 since it actually made all-time highs. I don't care about the 10 years prior. I care about what happened after the run. The bottom line is we can spin it however we want. I could go back to gold at $12 or 2 cents and be like, oh, look how far it's gone. But I want to know what's happening in the here and now. The last 7 years, when that pattern formed, is all that matters. The previous history matters in a sense, but if it doesn't break out and do what it needed to do out of that descending wedge, those first 10 years don't even matter. It's just going to come right back through. That rally is all on its own now. Now we've got to start the next part of this. They're all each their own separate layers, especially if something's becoming more utilized over time. See, that's the thing. XRP should never find a point now where it finds itself back at those 50 cent, 30 cent if it's being real. If it's still going to be a pretender and have to fill gas, we could find ourselves all the way back at 4 cents. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, if it's not a pretender and we've got something actually going here, then we've got some bigger ambitions. Yes, we might have to come all the way back to $1.52 or maybe $1.08. But, you know, nothing's ever confirmed in the USA, Shawnee. We won't know until after inauguration, my friend. It's all conjecture and nonsense until he's in office. So, I mean, we can see there's some liquidation that's starting to build back up here. What is this area right here? We've seen 327. Yeah, there's a little bit of liquidity up near 98,400. You got some liquidity on the way down. You don't have much below us. We wiped out all that liquidity. Your best bet is to come up here and wipe out some of this liquidity now. Let's see what happened in the last 3 days now with all this volatility. And if you guys aren't familiar, this is the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. And this gives us an idea of where all the liquidations, long and shorts, are at. So look at this in the 3 days. See how big this built up? We've got some massive liquidity up here that's poured in over the last 3 days. There's a big area here, a couple $1 billion in totality as you go through here. 327 is the sweet spot right now. So if it goes up to 98,400, there's 327 million just at that price point of liquidations for shorts. So that's definitely something that that is going to be of interest here going forward, because I definitely think we're going to end up finding that. Oh yeah, crypto warbird, that's what we are in this community. I preach positivity over negativity, and I don't like the hate in the world, so I'm not going to push it. If somebody wants to be a hateful person, I just don't acknowledge them. I was bad at it the first couple of years, but I've been doing better the last couple of years now since I've been on YouTube. But, you know, we get the good and bad. We get the good and bad characters. But overall, we are a very helpful community here. And what's the point of fighting within each other? If somebody comes in here fighting because they don't like XRP, they can go do something else. It doesn't matter to me. It's not worth my time. I like the positivity that we have. But that's a big level there at 98,400. The open interest for crypto options versus crypto futures coming down big time. We've poured down there. I only like to see that because I'm interested with the open interest when it comes to options versus futures. But then I like the crypto fear and greed index as it's come down to 49 today. So it's back in neutral for the first time since this cycle rally, which is something to pay attention to. Ethereum volume in comparison, I mean, I don't really see anything. Nothing outside of the norm here. I'm not really seeing anything outside. Let's see what the ETFs are doing. 1970 Legend bought a nice chunk of HBAR today based on your prediction for the 20th through the 27th. Don't worry. Won't be upset if you're wrong. I wanted some anyhow. Hey, thank you for the $19.99 donation. Hey, don't say prediction. That is not me predicting it. That's the charts. The charts are suggesting if the pennant flag for XRP holds between the 20th and the 27th, XRP by the 27th. And for HBAR, if this holds, it's saying the same thing, but technically the support on HBAR is down at about 23.8 cents. So it very well could ride through there still, even if it holds bullish. But that's if these play out. You know, I don't have a magic ball and I'm not a wizard. So it very well could break down. You know, we'll see, but I'm glad you phrased it the way you did. And thank you so much for the $19.99 donation. I just base it on what the charts are saying. So they're saying, if you start looking at these, oh, I pushed that out. That's not what I was supposed to do, because I think I had it like this. I did. To go through that wick. That's what I did. Duh. That makes a lot. I was going to say, why does it look like it's so much farther down than it is? I mean, this pushes it right through there. I mean, maybe HBAR is a tad bit longer. I still feel like it's trying to show us that. Although I could see it. See, I don't want to cut it off just because if it does have to do that, it could be slightly lower. But yeah, HBAR we're looking to hold, okay, 24 cents. And I mean, it's setting up. I mean, as long as it holds and these don't break down, they're holding up. It's just, I'm always cautious because what if they break down? What if it doesn't quite go the way we're looking? And if it does break out in this section, HBAR's got a nice movement within. It really does. But We'll see. Like I said, we'll see. We shall see, only because we've got a lot of manipulation. We got a lot of volatility. And because Bitcoin, this is the only reason I say pay attention. Because with Bitcoin, if this rising broadening wedge breaks out and the symmetrical triangle doesn't take over in the shorter time, because the symmetrical triangle gives you a little bit of hope, but the rising broadening wedge to me is still very prevalent. Crypto war blurred, just sub bubs. I appreciate that. Welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome to part of the 30,500 plus now. It's incredible. And you're almost in March of this year, March 28th, it'll be my 4th year on YouTube, 4 full years. And I've never missed a day, so you're in good hands, my friend. We are here every single day, no matter what, good or bad, healthy or not, broken bones or not. You guys have seen it all. But we're always here every day, no matter what. As long as I'm breathing. But also, guys and gals, don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ with this incredible turmoil going on in the world, especially in Canada and California and overseas. We just got so much stuff going on in our homeland, in our backyard. It's just insanity. So just remember to stay humble and show humility at all times. It's just the power of love is something. And also something else when I think about it, and I don't know how many religious people we have in the audience. We have some. And there's 233 people. So if I ask this question, I'm just asking a question. Is it possible that hell, we're living in it right now on earth? Like, we're all here for a reason to discover our higher consciousness. Lucifer got cast to earth. Lucifer is the controller of hell, supposedly, in the stories. Is it possible we're all sitting on hell on earth? Right? For sure. I mean, I'm just saying. And that means that we're trying to fight our own demons now, and we're here for a reason. For some reason, we can't find the higher consciousness. And I'm starting to believe maybe it's because we don't love. And if you follow that theory, the power of love, you have to have love in your heart. And what if, and this is just me thinking out loud, what if when we meet at the Golden Gates, the man or woman upstairs, however your God, however you interpret it, what if when we go up there, we're shown all the missed opportunities where we could have used love, and we're sent back down until we get it right, until we're unified in love and not hate? And I can look back at myself in the earlier years, all the times that I might have missed an opportunity, not because I wasn't generous, maybe didn't want to be open with anybody, or I wanted to stay to myself. But what if that's what's actually going on, and you see all the hate in the world, and it becomes harder and harder to show love? So the only way to break the curse of all this hate is to just be loving in all aspects. So that's my mission in 25, because I truly believe there's something deeper to that. I really do. I really, really do. So when you talk about hell and how Satan was cast to earth, it almost makes me feel like we're living through not only the prophecy, but we're living through our own inner demons as well. And we've got to come to a higher state of consciousness. And I think we all found each other for a reason. I do. I really, really do. It sure is the devil's playground. We are trying to find our way back home. I believe that. When people are poorly, they can be grumpy. That's true. That's true. My friend class, he died and came back. He said Creator told him to learn how to love, and he was casted back to earth. That's what I don't know why, but I get that. I had dreams about that. Just the message of the unification of love and how that is the only way. I found you for crypto news, not bullshit, hippie, psycho, babble. I had you come in here for unification and the power of positivity, not to show me some nonsensical bullshit. How do you like that? Be cool, man. Don't come in here talking like that. You don't want to change the tone of everything. If the power of positivity and love doesn't hit you, you're in the wrong community, my friend. But I'm not going to go any quicker. I was asking a question. I didn't do this to be ridiculed, but I am. I didn't do this and give out free information to get insulted and criticized all day long, but I take it. You know why? Because I'm a man. No, not because I'm a man. Because I don't let my emotions control myself. You're going to have to deal with all kind of stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I took 2 minutes to ask a question. This is just like any other thing I do. Oh, you're taking too long to do the charts. That's okay. It's my show. It's got to go in the way I demand a certain way I do this. So if it doesn't hit the right chord, there's a lot of other chords that you can strike on other communities. But my chord is in front of me. So Bank of America conducts all internal transactions using XRP, secures 83 patents. And we can all study ourselves, see? We could study just within that. I asked a question about the power of love, and the hate got brought in. What did it do? It can simply bring the message to another point. In 2021, 2022, 23, 24 would have been different. In 25, now I can't show acknowledgement to that person anymore until they show themselves better. I want better. I want you to do better. The one who sent that message, I want you to do better, think deeper, understand your consequences of a comment. I know we all are big warriors because we're behind the screen, but some of you wouldn't say what you say to me over the computer. You would never say it to my face. So act like you're with me in person. Show me that same respect that I show you and I don't even know you. The development is accompanied by the acquisition of 83 patents related to blockchain technology. The transition signifies an institutional shift toward the utilization of decentralized systems for operational enhancements, integration of XRP for internal processes. And this is speculative because we don't know if this is true. This is just what somebody's come out and we'll keep reading through this. So the incorporation of XRP into Bank of America internal process emphasizes the increasing reliance on blockchain technology to streamline financial operations. XRP is engineered to support cross-border payments and liquidity management, aligning with the bank's requirements for speed and cost efficiency. Internal financial transactions require rapid processing and accuracy. XRP's infrastructure supports real-time settlements, providing optimization of workflows. The elimination of traditional intermediaries reduces operational costs while mitigating errors inherent in conventional processes. The same benefits of the process streamlining sought by the Bank of America are already being achieved by other industries. For example, in the online entertainment industry, many sectors like e-commerce and streaming services are adopting different cryptocurrencies and blockchain ecosystems into their payment processes. Another popular trend is seeing the rapid adoption of Bitcoin and iGaming, with many specialized Bitcoin casinos. Sites now using crypto as a payment method. This has helped industry operators serve a broader target audience, while end users also enjoy benefits such as faster transactions execution, unique bonuses, and the inherent security that comes with blockchain transactions. Ultimately, the move made by this finance industry giant could help attain the same objective and streamline internal processes for the benefit of end users as well. The selection of XRP as a preferred cryptocurrency highlights its utility in the banking environments. Ripple, the entity responsible for XRP, has focused efforts on establishing partnerships and banks. Its infrastructure is designed to replace outdated systems and modernize payments. XRP's consensus mechanism ensures security and reliability without dependence on energy-intensive mining practices. The scalability and low transaction fee associated with XRP provide additional advantages for institutional use. The alignment with sustainability goals further reinforces its adoption by financial corporations. And this is another reason over the years that I felt like there was a big deal with the government in the U.S. One, because the U.S. government created Bitcoin. I don't care what anybody says. They're the single largest holder of Bitcoin. They can say it's through Mt. Gox or from all these other acquisitions and seizures. The bottom line is it was created for a reason, and the government created Bitcoin to pay for their enormous debt. Can't fool me. Bank of America accumulation of 83 blockchain-related patents demonstrates strategic positioning in the blockchain sector. The patents cover applications that range from payment processing to identity verification and fraud detection. The patent filings reflect a focus on integrating blockchain with legacy systems to enable seamless transitions. The bank's continued investment in blockchain research signifies a long-term commitment to technological advancement. Oh, we're going to read through all of this. I think this is good information. If I think it's good, it's good. It's good. It's my own historical evidence. You guys will take the piece of the pie as you please, but hopefully you take more of the pie than not. Blockchain implementation offers multiple operational improvements. Cost reduction is achieved through the removal of intermediaries, decreasing the expenses associated with multi-layer verification processes. Speed is enhanced by enabling immediate settlements, which are critical for maintaining operational fluidity. The immutable nature of blockchain technology ensures data transparency and security, fostering trust and compliance. Decentralization supports global financial operations without the limitations imposed by conventional systems. These factors contribute to the broader adoption of blockchain as a foundational framework for banking operations. So the industry implications of blockchain adoption, the utilization of XRP by Bank of America may serve as a precedent for other financial institutions. Concerns regarding regulatory compliance and market compliance or market instability have traditionally limited the integration of cryptocurrency within banking systems. However, Bank of America's success in deploying XRP demonstrates that regulatory framework can accommodate blockchain technologies. The widespread adoption of blockchain could lead to systemic shifts in global financial infrastructure. Increased efficiency and connectivity are potential outcomes of this technological transformation. The deployment of blockchain systems introduces challenges that must be addressed. Regulatory scrutiny remains a primary concern. A global framework for cryptocurrency governance are still in development. Volatility in cryptocurrency markets presents additional risks. Ripple's on-demand liquidity service reduces exposure by enabling the use of XRP without requiring significant holdings. Such tools mitigate some concerns related to asset stability. Is my friend who likes AMP in here? We've talked, me and you, back and forth. Are you in the audience right now? You know who you are. If you're in the audience, I'll cover AMP tonight before I leave as well. Ripple's partnership with Bank of America reflects its expanding influence within the financial industry. Ripple has established multiple collaborations with banks, payment providers, emphasizing its role as a driver of financial modernization. The company's focus on regulatory compliance and scalable solutions has facilitated widespread adoption of its technology. Ripple's position as a leader in blockchain innovation continues to solidify as more institutions integrate its products. Frankie, I'll do it for you, my friend, I promise. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my friend. Thank you so much for being a very trusted mod, my main man from Maine. Been around since the very, very beginning. It's so awesome seeing some of you that are still here after almost 4 years. Bank of America's integration of XRP and blockchain technologies indicates a shift toward a decentralized banking model. Financial institutions are increasingly adopting technologies that optimize efficiency and scalability. Blockchain adoption has implicated beyond cost reductions, extending to accessibility, improvements for underserved populations. Decentralized financial systems have the potential to create inclusivity in global financial networks. The application of blockchain in international bank systems may enable the development of new products and services such as programmable currency and decentralized lending platforms. The evolution of banking infrastructure is likely to continue as institutions pursue further technological innovations. This is something we've talked about for years, and that's why we had to be ahead of it. And now we're in the midst of it. So we can't go back to what we did the last 4 years. We can only go forward. And that knowledge that we have from the last 4 years will serve us well in the next. Bank of America's decision to utilize XRP for internal transactions and secure 83 blockchain patents highlights its commitment to technological advancement. The adoption reflects and what was the number one bank they said would go insolvent and go away last year? They told everybody to short this bank, Bank of America. And what happens? They always put the negative spin in the wrong spot. This adoption reflects the institution's dedication to enhancing operational efficiency and positioning itself as a leader in blockchain innovation. The transition to blockchain technology redefines financial processes, establishing a framework for greater transparency, security, and scalability. Like that, nothing there sounds bad to me. I like everything I read there. I'm glad we read it. But now we should get some interesting volatility today. One more day in the trading week tomorrow. Today the markets were closed. So we should get some pretty interesting volatility. Ethereum still is the dead giveaway here that, hey, is it going to come all the way down to where we talked about, to that 2,700? It looks like it's got a massive cup and handle that formed. Looks like it's got a massive inverse head and shoulders that's formed here as well. And this looks like, we're setting up something massive. Now, if it breaks down and this ends up being a rising wedge, as we've talked about, if we look at it, something we don't want to talk about, but if it does end up being a rising wedge, This could be crazy. This could be a crazy thing. This could be a very crazy thing. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. Is this going to be a massive breakout? Or is this going to be a massive, you know, is it going to end up being a massive reversal? I don't know. I think right now we're looking good. It's just we got to look at the warning signs if and when they happen. The Orange Bowl is tonight between Penn State and Notre Dame. So who likes Notre Dame? My problem is if Penn State wins, I don't think they can beat Ohio State. I don't know. I don't know if Penn State can beat Ohio State. However, you know, Texas may very well beat Ohio State, but I personally would like to see Notre Dame out of this group of 4. And Notre Dame's the second one I hate to lose to the most. So my least favorite to lose to is Ohio State, obviously as a Michigan fan, defending national champs. But I don't like losing to Michigan State, but that's 3 because they're just kind of irrelevant year in and year out. No offense to my fellow Spartan fans that live in this great state. But Notre Dame is my second least favorite, but I always have had a bias towards them because I like the way their academics and things like that. But I like Marcus Freeman, so I would not mind them winning the title and putting the rest that you can't win as an independent. So I just, that's the way I look at it. I wouldn't mind to see James Franklin win it either because I liked him at Vanderbilt. I don't know if I want to see Texas because then I got to hear the SEC go out of their gall. But anyhow, don't want to talk about that because you guys didn't come here to watch me talk about football after all. See what happened last time I got off the beaten path. I got hit with a damn club. But for AMP, Michael Schultz, welcome back. Welcome back. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. A large part of it's coaching. I would actually like to reinvent this. Maybe I missed something. See, every single one of them are putting in these death crosses, which sucks. But, you know, that's a sense of being too greedy in the market, too. But it's kind of like the argument we made a long time ago. We can either do it now and do the consolidation and do the come down like we're supposed to in a normal bull market that ends up consolidating 50, 60, 70% after it has a nice run up. Or we can do it later. And if we decide to do it later, that typically correlates with this cycle ending. So we don't want to do it later. There, see? I think this is a good way to look at it. We had a resistance up there in the... I could probably put it in the 4-hourly too to make this easier. Oh, yeah. But for the ones who asked about this, I wanted to bring this into deeper detail. I don't think it would be like this. I almost think that's too far. I kind of think it's in this kind of channel. Maybe a descending wedge. I don't know. No, more of a channel. I don't know, though. That kind of... One could argue. See, these are all these very big consolidations like that. These are almost like in these... Fuck, these are tough. What is that noise? Oh, that's my Julie's grocery order. Duh. Like, who was talking outside? Julie's outside. But I mean, my best guess would be like this. We got that resistance, support. We have a support structure through here. So I would dare say it's probably something like, man, this is definitely almost tightening up like a descending wedge almost. Does anybody see that? How it's like kind of wedging out at the end? I don't know. This is interesting how some of these are starting to materialize here a little bit. They didn't have something to tease.
They substituted the 5-pack of cars for an 8-pack.
Ooh, that's even better.
That's why I told her the more the better.
Here, let me see. I'll be right back, everybody, to finish this live.
And you got a happiness candle.
Yes, I did. For you. And me. Did I give you your stuff? Can I give it the tea?
Yeah.
You think you'll want it? I'm gonna finish this. Have you? I'll grab you a bag, Julie. Just in case. No guarantee. Right there, okay. Thank you. Love you. Okay. So, I mean, that's pretty interesting how that looks. If this is the case for AMP, and we're just kind of, it's tightening as it goes, though. Boom, boom. This is, you know what's funny about this? I could almost argue, but no, if you go over here, then you completely neglect the bottom part of this pattern, so I don't think that's very smart. So tough. I almost feel like it could be like that. But then you kind of... They're so tough when you try to figure these parts out. Because you really could pull it right there. But if you're coming through like this... You could certainly see the argument made like this. I could see the argument. So, that's what I mean. We're coming close on some of these. So... You really got to watch that. Otherwise, if it comes down, it's probably going to come back down to 004. And then, you know, we'll see what happens from there. But these are definitely pulling down a lot. A lot. It's just we came up so high on a lot of this as well. But remember, because I'm gonna go help Julie here in a minute. I think my time's up here. But I need to go help Julie. But... Watch this rising broadening wedge and see if maybe a symmetrical triangle formed here that can pull us out of here. Bitcoin has a big liquidity zone for short traders at about 98,400. Anywhere between 98,300 and 99,000. There's a several billion dollars of liquidation that can be had for short traders. There's not nearly as much going down from here. Not saying we won't. But if we come back up to this resistance again and confirm at least this part of the pattern... You could get a ton of liquidity by just coming up to 99K. Just coming up to 99K. Oh, that's... We already know about Silk Road. They got their approval. I believe it's like... What is it? 61,000 Bitcoin to be sold? Or not, something like that. 61,000. I think when I figured it out, it's like $9 billion can be sold in Bitcoin. Somebody said H-bar sell signal. Like, are we having a sell signal? I mean, I can't tell you that. I'm not a financial advisor. But if I was going to say there was a sell signal, you'd have to wait for it to come below 24 cents. Otherwise, no. It's still within the same consolidation it was the other day. So, and then other than that, XRP, as long as the pennant flag holds, which it is, 78% chance to break out. And that target would be around $3.37. But if we lose $2.05, that's where it gets dicey. If we lose the fair value gap at $1.82, because there's one at 205. If we lose the monthly fair value gap, that would be a very bad sign. Then we're coming down to 152 and likely maybe even 108. So just pay attention. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to end it here. Thank you, Anti-Communist. Thank you, William. Thank you, everybody who's in the audience. I'm going to go make sure T and Julie's good. And I'm going to end it here because I think we've done what we need to do. Hopefully, some of us will do better next time with the positive vibes. Hopefully, some of us will continue to tune in and show that power of positivity. And one day, my goal and my last wish will be in this community at some point, many, many years down the road, is that we have a unified love across the board. And I'm yet to hit that mark. So I need to do better. You all need to do better with me. And we need to turn this into a place of love and positivity, not hate and hurtfulness. So just one person can change that perspective that I have throughout a live stream. And today I think we did good, but we could have done a lot better.